Hello world, this is Ashton bringing to you Buzzin with Bri and Ash. Hello everybody.
Hey, how y'all doing? Welcome back.
So today we have Mr. Brad and Mr. Bradley, and we're going to be talking a little bit about him today, and we're going to be seeing pretty much just what he's about. So Mr. Brad, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing today? Nice to be on here. This is Brad. You can call me Brad Ofo on Twitter.
Brad Ofo?
You know what I'm saying? You can call me Brad Ofo on Twitter and Instagram. Same thing, you know what I'm saying? So.
Well, thank you for coming in. Like, I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Brad's
No
a
problem.
good colleague of mine. All right, so we're going to get started. So what do you do as a full-time job? Go ahead and tell us a little bit about that.
My full-time job, I am an educator. I teach Algebra 2 and Geometry at Kip Northeast College Prep.
Shout out to Kip. Okay.
And bad little kids.
Oh Lord.
So you teach math.
Yeah.
So that's interesting because a lot of people don't like math.
Yeah.
So like, what inspired you, or what made you choose to teach that subject?
Math is my second love. That's why. My first love, God. That's why. Anyways, what inspired me to teach math? So, funny enough, I was not going to originally be a math teacher. My whole life plan from the beginning, from childhood all the way through I got through college, was to be a doctor. So, you know, at about 4 or 5 years old, I said, I'm gonna be a doctor. Very stupid reason. And my older sister actually went to the doctor. She got a shot. She was crying really bad. She was like, I can't wait to be a doctor one day. I'm gonna go ahead and give them a shot. And I was like, I want to be a doctor too.
That's a great reason.
You know what I'm saying?
So she was like your role model.
You know what I'm saying? She inspired me by accident.
That is a funny story.
And so I had been pursuing medicine from the jump, I guess. Even like about, you know, when I got to middle school, when I got to high school, all I thought about was like, I'm gonna be a doctor when I get older. And then I got to college and I was like, I'm not sure if I'm completely interested in this like I said I was, because, you know, I'm actually seeing the workload and this, that, and the other. And I know they make a lot of money. I know it's a very secure job, but at the same time, like, it wasn't like me, you know what I'm saying? It just wasn't who I was completely. And being an African man, I'm Nigerian, by the way, Igbo man.
Okay.
You know, they can let moon, you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
If
shout out.
you heard me, you understand what that means. So basically, see, where did I leave off? My head, you know, all over the place. So being an African, it wasn't like easy to tell my parents this, but at the same time, like, I knew that, you know, I had no choice. I had to do what was right for me and what God, you know, guide myself to where God wanted me to be, all right? And so by the time I graduated from college, you know, I graduated with a math major, and so I had started preparing for my MCAT for about, you know, a couple of months. Mind you, this is the third time I'm preparing for my MCAT. I had already taken it beforehand. The first time I made a low score. The second time I made the same exact score.
Really?
Same exact score. And mind you, I prepared more the second time. So yeah, that's
Sounds like a sign, maybe.
Signs
Yeah.
like this is not yours. You know what I'm saying? And when I was studying that third time, I just, you know, God was really telling me like, hey, you know, you're really like forcing right now. This is not you. You should really be pursuing things that, you know, are more for you. And so it was about that time, I think, February 2018, that I told my parents and my family like this. Yeah, I'm gonna get a job in education.
How did they respond?
At first they were kind of like, you know, why are you giving up on your dreams? You know what I'm saying? This is your passion. Why are you giving up on it? And in the end of the day, even though it sounded like my passion in the past, it really wasn't my passion. I had just, you know, that's what they thought because I had been going with it so long. And I mean, they had to support me by default because, like, you know, they're not going to go to school for me.
Yes.
They're not going to. They weren't going to study for that MCAT for me. So I had no choice but to do what was, you know, for me. So that happened, and funny enough, even though I made that decision in February 2018, I actually got a job teaching March, literally the month after. No certification, nothing like that. Like,
Wow.
I was trying to be certified as a teacher actually here in Texas, and I was trying to you know apply for everything, do all that stuff. And when I tried to like get paperwork filled out, I went to my boss actually. I asked her to you know fill out a recommendation for me to do some teacher certification, and she told me, you know, I know an alpha that I went to college with. No.
You're an alpha.
Oh, see, yeah, I'm
Oh.
Alpha. Just you know, I'm a part of Alpha Fraternity Incorporated.
Happy belated Founders Day.
Appreciate you. So she told me, I know Alpha. This is my boss at my babysitting job, by the way. I used to be a babysitter.
Oh.
So she told me she knew an Alpha that was an assistant principal at one of the KIPP schools, and she told me she can connect me with him just to talk to him. I said, all right. So I got on the phone with him, told him, you know, what I love in math, what I know how to teach, what I would be able to teach if I wanted to teach. And he said, I told him my strongest subjects were Algebra 2 and, not geometry, Algebra 2 and Calculus. And he told me, it's funny because we're actually looking for both of those type of teachers right now.
Wow.
I was like, wow. And so I literally got the job that March. And like, I was literally blessed.
So Brad love kids.
Pretty much.
I
Bradford
love
Kids
these,
2020.
man. I love kids, man.
Girl.
They kiss me off, but I love the kids.
Oh man. Okay, so how do you feel like being a teacher has maybe made you feel like as a person? Like, do you think being a teacher and being around kids helps you grow as a person? Like, have you had any experiences that maybe make you feel like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do?
Man, being a teacher is actually one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, actually. Being a teacher is very demanding. Like props to everybody in the world who's a teacher right now, because I know you go through like a lot, actually having to prepare yourself. You know, you dealing with your students and dealing even with admin and preparing lessons. Like, it's a lot. But it first of all, it's kept me on my toes. You know, with a lot of different situations. I kind of feel like a second parent to the majority of these kids sometimes, because it's like they go through a lot at home. Like a lot of my kids, they're coming from low income areas, and their parents like aren't naturally as supportive when it comes to their educational aspects. It's kind of like their parents are there, but their parents aren't like really just there, you know. And so what makes it difficult is like I have to take that burden, because it's like the parents didn't necessarily, I guess, do that job as much. No offense to the parents, I'm sorry.
But you're right.
Yeah. So some kids I really had to like be honest with, like be raw with them. I remember I had one student who, her and her grandmother, they don't see eye to eye. She lives with her grandma, and they're always arguing every single time. Just that and the other. She says she hates living with her grandma. But then she comes to school at the same time, and she comes to act up in my class always. Never trying to do her work, always trying to disrespect me.
It translates to classroom.
Yeah. I remember one day I took her outside, and I said, like, you tell me about how you and your grandmother, like, y'all don't get along, but I just, want you to know that you take a lot of fault in this situation, because of the fact that, like, you, how can I put it? You're not making it easy to work with. Like you like make it difficult for adults to be able to deal with you in the first place. Like it's like, I just want you to understand that a lot of this is your fault. You're saying that y'all see eye to eye, so I want you to understand that. And like after we had this like whole conversation, like she ended up like crying by the end of the convo. I've never like had that happen to me at all. I was like, I'm making a student cry. This is
Yeah.
It's just different. And so she came back into class, and she was just silent for the rest of the day. Like it was like a real conversation. So it's stuff like that. Like I literally sometimes feel like their second parent. Sometimes they come to me telling me, Missy, you got some food? Missy, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Miss, I didn't eat today. You got some food today? Or, they'll come to sit in my classroom. Mister, can I be in your class for lunch? This is my time away from the kids.
So like,
I'm trying to think about myself.
Right.
But they're like, Mister, can I be in your class for lunch? They always trying to be in my class when they don't need to be and stuff like that. But yeah, I enjoy it. It helps me understand people better, and it helps me understand the youth better too. Because it's like, not everybody thinks the way we think, or thinks like, not everybody thinks like I think. So I know that I have to learn how to work with different people, and even younger people who are still trying to grow up and better themselves. So it's helped me a lot, to develop people skills.
Do you want kids?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm like,
How many kids?
6.
Maybe
A football team
maybe
of
like a
kids?
minimum of like 15, I think.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's
oh wait,
fine.
a minimum of 15 children?
15 kids.
Like individual
We're gonna
children?
we're gonna start a singing group. They'll Foibu 5 and I think if I were to make that decision, I'd say maybe 4 is my ideal number. 5 would be pushing it. That'd be like,
You got like a set of twins.
Yeah.
Maybe something like
That's
that.
5, right?
So
Yeah.
5 would probably be my maximum if I were to choose. But then like 4 is a good ideal number.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's gonna happen between me and my wife by then. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Well, if you think about it though, like the kids at school, so during the school year, they spend most of the time with the teachers than they do at home.
Mm-hmm.
Like the hour of the day, how many days a week they're at school, they only get the weekends with their parents and the nights during the weekday. So it kind of, you are like a second
Yeah.
parent if you
Yeah.
think about it.
And it's weird because it's like they hate being in class, they hate learning, but at the same time, some of them like really hate going home too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, but they also like to. They like sometimes they like the social aspect of being around their friends, and they like to, even though they like to hang out with me sometimes, just talk to me about real stuff. But yeah, a lot of them like really hate going home, and there's reason why, because they just feel like the home life just isn't what's up.
Yeah.
So sometimes even if I have to call parents, about disciplinary reasons, it doesn't really do anything because it's like the parents may not answer my call or my text because it's like, well, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Being a teacher.
Yeah, I know it sounds
sounds
overwhelming and
hectic.
demanding, like
It's
you
a
said.
lot, and lesson planning. Oh my gosh, that's one of the big things right there. Like, you ask my manager, I'll be behind like half the time, but I really try my best. To, I try my best to be on it, but
So what do you do for yourself? Like, what do you like to do outside of school? To relax.
Stress
or just,
relievers.
yeah, like hobbies, stress relievers.
So something that I've always been big on since like I guess like the last half of high school, I've always been like into like fitness and going to the gym and stuff like that. So that's important to me. Being a teacher makes it a little hard sometimes. So like I've been a little bit less active in the gym. What else do I like to do?
Any passions?
Any passions? I love to dance. So yeah, sometimes I like, to be honest with you, like I'm like a dancer. I've been dancing since I was a child. Sometimes it's like breathing to me every now and then. Like I love to dance. So.
What type of dancing do you do?
So the main thing that I actually do, like, I'm into hip hop a lot. Definitely into Afro beats, Afro dancing, of course. But I can like dabble in all styles, like whether it be like any type of Latin type of dance or whatever. Give me the type of style, I will learn it and I'll perform it.
So you created like a super dope like short film called Kings of R&B. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So Kings of R&B. I had a vision in my head since I want to say maybe like the end of 2018 or maybe even before that. I can't even remember. So I basically had started pursuing my dance passion like heavily around that time, and I had this vision in my head to where like I love these specific songs and I love these specific artists. People like Neo and Chris Brown and Usher, like those famous old R&B artists, and the ones that can also dance at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And so like because I was so into their music, I was like, I gotta make some sort of like tribute video for them because like this is stuff that I love dancing and I love the music. I love the moves that they be doing. I gotta pay some sort of homage.
Yeah.
And so the vision came in my head. The vision came in my head at first in a more simpler form. Basically, I was literally just gonna be dancing to 4 different songs with no like actually storyline behind it. I was just gonna be dancing, and so over time, like the vision like developed in my head even more. I had to reach out to one of my homeboys. His name is Colin, by the way. You guys should look up Prometheus Rex Films. He knows what he's doing. Like his company they're legit. Because I know he had been dabbling in film since we were young. And when I went to go reach out to him, he said, well, actually, I have a film company. I don't work with the camera anymore. Like, I actually have, like, a whole, like, crew,
Yeah.
So, like, it's, like, a whole production crew, and it was, like, great. And so I pretty much gave him my idea, and we bounced ideas off of each other, kind of. And, we made it happen. And the fact that happened was still, up till now, still pretty surreal to me, because though it was such a big vision in my head, I didn't expect to, like, see it manifest like that, so.
So I'm not gonna lie, I saw it. I saw it. I was following like the promotions and everything that you did for it, and I was very excited to see like the final product. And like you really you set the bar. Like it was super dope. You gotta check it out.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So like, what songs did you use? When you tell them what songs you used?
Okay, so the first song was "Caught Up" by Usher. Second song was "One in a Million" by Neo. Third was "Icebox" by Omarion, and then "New Flame" by Chris Brown. So, yeah.
And in that order.
Yeah.
In that order.
Nice.
So like, how long did it take to film it? Like, was it over a period? Cause I know you were working, right? Or, So like, how long did it take?
Man, the thing is, we started filming this in April, and we finished filming it, we finished filming it in like May or so.
Mm-hmm.
So the process was a little like different. So, we had 2 different settings. The first setting was like in the studio, where it's like all white, and the other place was in an actual dance studio. So the whole concept was the fact that like I was some guy that was coming in to clean up the dance studio, like sometime early in the morning before the dance classes started, and I'm putting in my AirPods, and I'm just like I want to dance to some of this music. Like I like this music, and I just completely forgot about my job to clean up the place, and I just started dancing, dancing, and like I got taken out of the dance studio and into my own world in my head, and like it was like I was in a real music video at that time. It was pretty cool. So yeah, we filmed in 2 different places from April through May. I think that was pretty much the time that it took us to film that.
Okay. So let's see.
What was your favorite part about recording all this?
My favorite part, man, my favorite part about recording this whole thing. How can I put it? I don't know, man. There's so many good things about like putting together this video. Like, for example, like first of all, when I walked in there for the first time, it was like surreal because I see like a whole like camera crew that's setting up everything. You know, they have like a legitimate like 4K like camera that you would film like music videos or movies on. They had like, you know, lights and everything set up. I'm like who do I think I am? Like, what is going on here? Like, like the fact that I'm trying to like get this actually done. So the experience itself was just cool. I'm just trying to think of, you know, like I said, there's so many like actual good experiences that came out of it. Like, the funny thing is, when I first started like actually like shooting it, I was kind of nervous actually because I didn't know what to expect. And so when I was in front of the camera doing like my moves, it was kind of like not full out. And he was kind of like, "Hey Brad, I need you to like, you know,
be on it.
Yeah, I need you to like dance, you know."
Yeah.
And so like he had to keep like coaching me to like actually like do my stuff in the beginning. And once I like broke out of my shell, like I was good from there. So I can tell you the least favorite part was all those takes over and over and over again. Like I was tired. That was probably my least favorite part. But the dancing itself, like I love dancing, and the fact that like I had my friends that were in there with me, and the different settings, the different setups that they had, which is so cool to see. Like when especially the icebox part, like the whole like, you know, dark feel, like the blue like background or whatever. It was just so cool to be in. Like, and I don't know, just I think the whole experience itself, just having like a professional actual like video being done where I'm in it, was probably like, it was just like a top-notch experience. Like I don't want to replace that experience.
All right, well, I have a couple more questions about your short film, but we're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll be right back.
Back with Buzzin with Bri and Ash and Mr. Brad. Hey guys.
Welcome back.
So we were just talking about some situations that we feel, or Mr. Brad feels like kind of applies to him and how he kind of goes about things in his life. But now I want to talk about, apparently there's a thread going around. What's this thread in unfaithfulness? What is this?
A little Twitter thread.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna try to be as transparent with y'all as possible, because it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of scary. You know, when you go through stuff like this, when you struggle, it's kind of, you know, a little nerve-wracking to tell everybody what you go through, but we ain't perfect, so I gotta share it with y'all.
Please do.
So basically, like, you know, I was telling everybody about my, you know, my first and my only unfaithful relationship. You know what I'm saying? In front of everybody on Twitter, it's crazy. So, you know, basically, like, I had been seeing somebody else, you know, outside of the person I had already been seeing for maybe a good 2-3 months, something like that, maybe a little longer, unfortunately. And like it was a pretty sad thing to talk about, and it was a pretty sad thing to be going through, because I felt guilty holding all that in for a while, and like, you know, that person had no idea. And so, like, you know, I walk in, and, you know, I said I had to confess, you know, because I can't keep that bottled up inside of me. So I went to confess, and like the moment like he looked at me, he see my edge up, and it wasn't crisp. You know what I'm saying? He see my edge up wasn't crisp enough. He was like, "You've been seeing another barber, huh?" I was like, "Yeah, I've been seeing another barber." You like, you know, I literally almost broke into tears at that moment. Like I almost cried. I can't believe he noticed that I was seeing another barber, and you know,
I heard that's like a real brotherly bond. So.
Yeah. Like, I committed adultery with my barber, man. Like, it's crazy.
They say what you do in the dark will always come to the light.
Yeah,
Amen.
Literally.
Yeah, it came to the light, for sure. I can't, like, till now, like, telling you guys this, I'm trying my best not to choke up right now talking about it. But, you know.
So why did you cheat?
Why did I cheat, man? So man, I was at the gas station one day, and, you know, this lady came up to me. She had cards, you know, saying that she the barber and this, that, and the other. And one of my homeboys.
And it was another one.
You know what I'm saying? And my homeboy, that's actually his aunt. He was actually one of the pictures on that card.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, she was cutting him up too. And I was like, she looks like she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
So I actually went in and have been getting my hair cut for a while since then. And my other barber was like, you know, he seen me like, where you been at? I was like, ooh.
Right.
You know, I
See,
just
what
been,
happened was
I had just been, you know, I've just been around, you know. I've been busy with work. You know.
So you just cheated because I mean the other barber wasn't available. You just want to cheat.
You know, the barber wasn't unavailable. Just the fact that, like, you know, sometimes when you see something that look good, you know, you just go after it. You know.
And they say black men don't cheat.
Yeah. Look, guys, I just let you know this is the only time black men cheat. Right?
What happened to the what is it, Faithful Black Men Association?
Yeah.
You know, we still faithful. No, don't worry, Jesus forgives us. Keep that in mind.
Keep in mind.
Right.
He can forgive me.
Oh man. Okay, so like, what made you want to confess before you got caught?
Man, because, you know, I started, you know, like, I feel like I'm somebody who likes to make a positive impact on people. And, like, I feel like I know a lot of people and I try to give good advice to people. I always talk about God to people, you know, and at the same time, like, how can I be talking about this and, you know, being out in front of everybody, but at the same time, I'm in the dark, you know, hiding stuff. It makes me feel guilty. So I gotta share that with people. I gotta be open and say, you know, I'm not perfect. You know, this is my life. You know, I cheated on my barber. And I overcame this, and you can overcome it too.
Okay, so is there anything that you want the viewers to know that's coming up, like upcoming projects or anything that we can be looking forward to? Because I'm looking for another part 2 Kings of R&B short film.
Man, honestly, we're hoping for a project at some point. As far as timing, not sure on the specifics yet. I have a lot of ideas in my head. So, like, if you saw that video and you loved it, like, you'll love all my next videos because I have so many ideas that are even more intricate and cool. So keep that in mind. So I'm currently, like, in the works right now, but just gotta make sure I finish this semester right now strong because, you know, like I said, still teaching.
Yeah,
so
big time.
Yeah, I gotta finish up the semester because, you know, things got really, really busy, especially towards the end. Like, you got a lot to do, grading, finals, all that stuff. So.
Shout out to everybody taking finals right now.
Yeah.
Yes, Lord. Be strong, be strong.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a video, girl, call me. Go ahead and tell us your Instagram handle just so we can keep up, or whatever you want us to follow.
Yes, follow me on Instagram, Bradofo. So that's BRADOFO. And then also on Twitter, BRAD capital O then FO. Alright. So same thing, Bradofo, Twitter and Instagram.
Alright. Well, thank you, Mr. Brad, for joining us, and me and my lovely co-host, Miss Bri. We'll see y'all next week on Buzzin with Bri and Ash.
Alright.
Bye. Signing out with peace.
Yeah.